Hi sewing friends, it's been a while. Deb here from Slap Happy Sewing. Yeah, I know I've been away a while. I've just had life going on, a few minor health problems, like I did my back in last week. Life's been just a little bit on top of me. I have done a little bit of sewing though. There's a few things here. I wanted to try and make sure that I'd vlogged everything up this year, that I was going to use this vlog as a way to document all of my makes, and I'm pretty sure that I've missed out on these ones, although I've made them over the past 6 weeks maybe. Anyway, these are, I'm going to call them a symphony of rhapsodies, because what they are they're bits of fabric that I had. As you know, I buy most of my fabric in charity shops, and these are bits and pieces that I wasn't quite sure about. So I thought, well, you know what, just make something out of them. And if you like it, you like it. And if not, give it back to the charity shop. So this is the end result. The pattern I've used for all of them is the Rhapsody blouse by Love Notions. It's actually a great little pattern. It's kind of versatile really, because it can be long sleeve, short sleeved. As we're in spring here, it's not really that warm yet, so I'm all about the long sleeve blouses, and the one that I've made short sleeved is because I didn't have enough fabric. So this one that I've got on now, kind of a chiffon, and I really thought, when I got it home, I thought, what did you buy that for, Deb? It's a bit blooming odd, that is. But then I thought, you know, I'm gonna just make these up, and if I like them, I like them. And actually, I do quite like this, because it's got a kind of, I quite like the pinky flowers on it. So if I step back, you can see this one. The only thing that was a bit slap happy about this one was when I made the sleeves, well no, cut back a bit. I first made one of these blouses, I think in the very first vlog that I made, and I made it in a kind of a chiffon fabric, and the shoulders were a bit big, and I've kind of since got wise to the fact that whatever else, I should get the shoulders right, because even if the rest of it is a bit big, it doesn't matter as long as the shoulders are right, because you can always take something in a little bit. But what I didn't realise that this, so I must have altered the pattern, and this was the first one I made sort of with a year in between. I wanted full sleeves, but then I found that the sleeves were a bit on the short side. And afterwards, the penny dropped that the reason the sleeves were a bit short was because I had brought the shoulder up. Whereas I hadn't lengthened the sleeve before and they'd been okay. Now the sleeves were about, you know, they've been pulled up a bit and they didn't have enough. So I slap happily added a little bit extra onto the sleeve, and it is a bit slap happy. What I might do is, I'll see if I wear it this way. It probably bothers me more than it would bother anybody to look at it. But what I might do is, if I don't find I wear this, if I do find that bothers me, what I might do is cut it down so it's got short sleeves. But at the moment I can barely think about wearing anything with short sleeves because it's still too cold. So that's this one. So here's the second one, which I think I vlogged it up a year ago. I haven't worn it very much because I don't know why, but it came out a bit smaller than my pink one that I made. I did wear my pink one a bit and decided it ultimately was a bit big. This one I wasn't quite sure about, and however, it turns out I have lost a little weight since last year. Not intentionally, probably just due to taking a bit more exercise and having a bit of gallbladder trouble, which means I can't eat fat the way that I used to. But this one, I like the sleeves on it. They are fun. I thought I did quite well with the red piping and all. But I must say, sleeves like that, they have got an amazing ability to get shut indoors, caught in drawers, dangle into your food. So they look nice. I also wonder if they're a bit short, really, if they wouldn't look better if they were more over my hands. What do you think? Anyway, however, I do like this enough, despite all my picking at the details of it. I have been wearing this one. Another issue is this fabric that I use is very, very thin. I think you might call it voile. Of course, I don't know what it was because I bought it in a charity shop. But if I just show you here, you can actually kind of see through it. So I've got to wear it with a undertop. And in this case, I've just got like a little cami on underneath. That's probably going to limit how much I'll wear it when it gets warm, because when it gets warm here, there's something about the sun here. When the sun, it's cool, it's a temperate climate, but once the sun comes out, it can heat up really quickly, and then I absolutely couldn't wear 2 layers of something. However, at the moment, this is working well. I have worn it a few times. I'll show you some footage with me with it on in my office. So I'm happy with this one. I'm going to get some wear out of it. So that's number 2. So let's go to number 3. So this one's number 3, and I had lengthened the sleeves by this time. So this is a proper sleeve length, but still the bell sleeves. Yeah, wasn't quite sure about this fabric. I think it's got quite an interesting pattern to it and colour, but the same thing, it's very, very thin. I guess it's kind of voile as well. I don't know if you can see through that on camera. Same thing though, I've got the same issue that I've got to wear something underneath it. All right, for this season, we'll get too hot quite quickly as soon as the sun comes out. However, I did do a little work on trying to get more use out of my clothes, and I styled this up with a pink jacket that I've got, and I'll show you a picture in the footage. I made that pink jacket, it was the Brad Patton's Luca jacket anyway, and although the Luca should be made in knits, the knit one that I made was in very stable knit, so I just made one in beige cord, which I then dyed red, and it came out pink. So so experiments in clothing, but I actually like this with beige trousers and that jacket. So honestly, for me to get a decent outfit that I feel good in, I think that's a win, and I will get some wear out of this blouse because of that. Moral of this story is, Deb, you need to take more time to work out what works with what in your wardrobe. Okay, so that's this one. And here's the 4th one. So I would have definitely made this long sleeved, but I didn't have enough material. Actually quite an interesting fabric in that it's quite a sort of funny, shiny, almost crepey fabric, but it's quite heavy. It's got quite a lot of heft to it. And when you look at it, this one to me seems to be longer than the other ones, although I've used exactly the same pattern. But I don't know if it's my old insecurities showing, but I do love a dark coloured top, and I do recall times in my life where I've had some dark coloured things. I'm not very struck on black. I think black is a bit of a killer colour on me, but I do like navy blue, and I do recall times I've had a nice navy blue dress and I've worn it and it's been just plain like this. So when I made this up, I thought, you know what, I know I'm going to wear this a lot because I love wearing plain solid colours. So I don't know if that's a note to myself that I need to think about what's behind that and get out of my comfort zone, or just go with the flow and just say, you know what, don't buy pattern fabrics so much, just go with the flow and make plains. But I do love patterns. I love patterns on other people. I love to see patterns in fabrics and all, but I don't always love them so much when they're made up, or rather when I go to select something from the wardrobe, I seem to be much more likely to select something plain than I am something patterned. Does that make sense? So yeah, I need to think a bit more about this. How does that work for you? Do you prefer plain or pattern? Do you find yourself gravitating to some kind of clothes? And do you think there's a good reason behind that, a good life-affirming reason behind that, or do you think it's maybe to do with your insecurities? Because that's what worries me. But I'll show you the back of this. I do like this one very much. So that's that one. Yeah. And there's a couple of other things. As I'm sort of vlogging up my sewing, I wanted to just show you something that I've been working on that I think is going to turn into a disaster. No, sorry, I'll just reframe that. It's going to turn into a learning experience. Hang on a minute. So I've been making, or rather, I bought Simplicity, let's see if I can get it, 8137. And if you look, I should have known, because if you look, those are very slim girls, and actually, if you look carefully, there's not a huge amount of wrap there, and they are very, very slim girls. And I should have taken that as a warning that that probably wasn't going to work for me. Anyway, I went to considerable trouble knowing that big 4 patterns only really go up to B cup, and I adjusted the side bust thing, because it's got what do you call them, yeah, princess seams. I adjusted the side so it would fit my G cups, and I then made up what I thought was a muslin. And I've got to admit, if the point of a muslin is to learn about the pattern, well, I certainly have learned something. Now, it's not actually completely made up, this muslin. The skirt is just tacked on, and there's various things you'll notice. So if I step back, you'll see I have got a pin in that there and another one there, and this actually should be turned in and hemmed. But I think as a style, it doesn't have a whole lot of wrap, does it? So for a wrap top, I'm either going to have it something buttoned or poppers or something there. Also, I'm not sure that it really does anything for me, because actually, looking at myself on camera, the boobs look enormous in it. But also, I've got a bit of a tummy under here, and I think it emphasises that. So, I don't know if I should give up on this, and kind of got fed up with it anyway. And all sorts of weird things happen with the pattern, in that I just couldn't understand it. I don't think that even if I could make this wearable, I probably would ever wear it. Yeah, and as for tying bows over my fattest part, I don't think that's going to work. And if we were just to rely on the bow, it's instant wardrobe malfunction, which limits exactly where I'm going to be able to wear it. And as I say, all this is just too stiff with its layers. So, yeah. All I can say is I think I've had my greatest disasters with big 4 patterns. Pity though, I think I like the idea of a wrap very much, but the reality of it is probably not really workable, because the only place that I tend to wear more these kind of clothes is at work, and I certainly don't want to go around flashing my boobs at work. So enough said. Live and learn, Deb, live and learn. So that's me. That's what I've been up to. Hope life is safe for you, or you're managing to keep yourself safe. We're okay here, as you well know about New Zealand. Yeah, talk to you again soon. I've got more things in the pipeline, so there'll be more disasters, more successes. Oh, I'll just show you some footage from in the garden of my 4 Rhapsody of blouses, my symphony of Rhapsodies. Bye.